So before this, whatever we seen, that is the shared memory. So in shared memory, what you should do, multiple processes are trying to access same resources at the same time, maybe. Okay, so to avoid that one, we'll be using the one concept as a semaphore. It's nothing but we're trying to put the restrictions. So when you can access the shared resources. Okay, so that restrictions we can keep it by using normally semaphores. And one more concept is there is a mutex also, but now we'll switch with the semaphores. So this is a numbered one. So that is nothing but you can have n number of values. That is n number of resources. For those resources, you can put the how many processes can access each other. Okay, so that is the same for the synchronization. Okay. So here what will be there, suppose one shared resource is there. Okay, one resource is there. So before that, before entering to the that shared resource, okay, or before accessing that shared resource, each process has to test it. Okay, it has to check it on semaphore value. So depending on that value, it will use the resources, and after using that resource, it has to release it. Okay, so there is nothing but whatever you are testing it, there is nothing but you will do the some decrement and increment kind of things, and then use it, then you have to leave it. So in general, whenever you are going to use the shared resources, one value will be there, that value will keep on decrementing. Okay, so if that value is become as a zero, okay, so if it is become as zero means maximum number of resources are allocated to all the processes. Okay, so further you can't use it, so you have to wait until and unless it becomes some positive number. Okay, then whenever you are after using that resource, immediately you have to increment it. So before you will decrement it before using the resource, then you will use the resource, then after using the resource, you will increment it. So it means you are done with using that resource, so you will increment the semaphore value. So in general, you can have the semaphore value as a n. Okay, that is a positive number. Any value you can give it. So that n represents is nothing but how many number of resources are there. Okay, so consider as a printer. Okay, so if processor want to use the printer resources. Okay, so n number of systems are connected to a, consider as a two printer. So that time we will say as a resources as a for printer 2. Okay, that is n value as a 2. So whenever one system is trying to print it, automatically it will decrease that semaphore value, so it will become as a 1. It means one more printer is available. Okay, so then if second system also is want to use the one more printer, they want to print something, so it will also decrease that value, so it will become as a 0. So another process or another system, okay, so suppose it want to use it, now it has to wait until and unless that value has to become greater than 0. Okay, so there is nothing but whatever resources we had, both are allocated to the systems, different processes. So you have to wait until and unless you get the resource set. Okay, so this is the overview. Okay, so here also in semaphore also, what you can do is you can consider as a binary semaphore. Is exactly same as that of mutex almost. Okay, little bit difference is there. Okay, so here exactly almost same as that of mutex. Is between always you will be having the one resource only. So that whenever we'll say as a binary semaphore, is nothing but always that n value will be 1 only. So you have only one resource, that resource you want to use between the n number of processes. So that value will be only once it may be incremented and once it may be decremented. So always value will be there as a 0 or 1. In between only it will be there. So at the same time, only one process can use it. So that is the limitation in binary semaphores. Okay, so this is the overview. So now we'll see how to create it. Okay, so nothing but so okay, before going to that, so whenever you are creating a semaphore internally, again like message queue or all the things, internally again kernel will maintain one data structure. Okay, so that is also is the same name. Semaphore, I think we saw previous one as a message queue, their id then underscore ds, like that only. So here semaphore related sem id underscore ds, so it's a data structure maintained by the kernel again. Okay, so what all things will be there? Again, by default permissions will be there, which are group of processes can use it, those permissions will be there. Then here is nothing but number of semaphores. So how many semaphores are there, okay, in a particular set, we'll call it. It's nothing but whatever you are creating is a semaphore, that what is a normally value, what is the value of that, Okay, so then this is change time. Okay, that is nothing but when last any changes are done on the semaphore. Okay, that will be there. And here semaphore operation, so any operations you are doing it on the semaphore, that will be there. Okay, so what are those operations, this function, what is that function, in detail we'll see it. So whichever operation is executed, that operations last execution time will be saved here. So like that, again it depends on the version of the kernel, whatever you are using it, different fields will be there. So in general these 4 or 5 will be there. So then after that, depending on version, it will vary. Okay, so along with this, so one more structure will be there. That structure is nothing but, here we are saying is it's related to the, actually what is a semaphore values or semaphore related things only. Okay, this is maintained by the kernel related to the semaphore data structure, who is modifying all those things. Okay, so now here one extra thing is there, that is nothing but each semaphore, how it is represented. Okay, for that one structure will be there. So here exactly semaphore value is there. Okay, and whichever process is modified last, that PID will be there. Okay, and any processes are waiting for that semaphore, those information will be there. Okay, so here we have these two things, that is nothing but any process is waiting for semaphore value. Okay, and that value should be greater than current value. Okay, if any semaphore number of processes. Okay, so how many processes are waiting currently now. Okay, and whose value, their value is requirement is this one, same value, their value is required is this one, and current value is this one, that is CURVAL. Okay, so whatever they want to process want to access the semaphore means they required 4 resources. Okay, so suppose one process A, it required 4 Ethernet at the same time. Okay, and currently maybe you have 3. Okay, so here same value, that is 4 is required, and currently available is 3. So like that, process A, whatever we said, like that, how many processes will be there, those many process count will be there here. Okay, maybe 1 or 2 or 10, whatever count is there, that one. And here one more thing is semaphore 0. Okay, so it's nothing but semaphore for 0, how many processes are waiting, means already they came. If they have one resource also, it's enough for them, so they are in waiting period. So how many processes are in waiting period now. Okay, this is for particular value, this is for if it is a 0 also, means any one resource also there, they can use it. Okay, so like that 2 counters we have. So for each semaphore, again you will be having the one structure. Okay, so this structure contains the how many processes are waiting, those information. Okay, and which process is modified last, and what is the semaphore value currently. Okay, so those information will be there. And here this is a time related thing, which process is modified and what all the permissions related to those will be kept it. This one will be maintained by the kernel. Okay, this will be maintained by the whoever is creating the semaphore. First time whoever is creating, he will be maintaining it, that process will be maintaining it. Okay, so these 2 structures are there. Previously whatever we studied, in those cases we saw only this data structure related, kernel related information will be maintained. So this is the extra information one structure is maintained in a semaphore. Okay, now we'll see so how to create it. So, okay, so while creating, again you will be calling the get function. Okay, that is semaphore get. So here key will pass it, then how many semaphores you want to create it. Okay, so for a one type of resource. Okay, so how many resources are there, that will say it. Like in a printer, how many printers are there. Okay, so that is a type of resources, printer. So that we are saying is a one type. In that, how many printers are there, that will give us a semaphore value. So if we have 2 printers available, will give semaphore value as a 2. Suppose any IO operations you want to perform it. Okay, so like UART port RS420. Okay, so RS32232, like that, any UART ports are there. Okay, so how many ports are there IO related. Okay, so there is a one type is UART. Okay, so in that, again, how many resources you have. Okay, how many ports it's connected to your system. So number of semaphores, those many number of semaphores you will create it. Okay, maybe 3 or 4. Okay, this is semaphore value will be there. Okay, for each type. Okay, then this flag is nothing but again permission kind of thing. Okay, so whatever we saw is a key and flag for previous things. That is the same thing. There is one key will be there. There normally we'll see as a IPC permission kind of things. Then here flag is nothing but normally it's a mode will be there. So it's a read mode, write mode, like that. Some flags will be there. So whenever you are using the semaphore first time, you will call semaphore get. Okay, so here if it is successfully executed, it will return a ID. Okay, that is a semaphore ID. It will return it. So normally we will say as a SEM ID, semaphore ID. It will return it. If any failure happened, it will return -1. Okay, so this is first time whenever you are creating a semaphore, we will call it. So after that you have to use it. Okay, and sometimes you want to perform some operation. Depending on that operation, different things will be there. Okay, so now we'll see how to perform first operation. Okay, so here how to perform an operation. Okay, so for that we have as a SEMOP. Okay, this is nothing but we are performing some operation. Okay, so at the same time you can perform n number of operations. Okay, consider the n number of operations you want to perform it by one process. Okay, so on one semaphore you want to perform n number of different operations by one process. So what we'll do is, so normally this semaphore ID will be given. Okay, then these are the number of operations whatever you want to perform it, that will be given. Okay, so what kind of operations you want to perform it is nothing but it's listed in this buffer. Okay, this is one structure is there, structure that sembuff we will say it. So here that array will pass it. Suppose you want to perform 4 operations, means 4 instances of this structure will be there. There is nothing but here array size will be 4. Okay, so here whatever this buffer, here we are saying sembuff, that buffer, this is the structure. For this structure 4 instances of variables will create it. 4 instances of array will create it. Then that array address will pass it here. Okay, so here 4 instances of this buffer will create it, then we'll pass it that array address. And here we are mentioning the how many operations you want to perform it. Here I took it as example as a 4, so here we'll send the number as a 4. How many operations you want to perform it. This is just an address only. Okay, so you don't know where you have to stop it. So whenever you are running this one semaphore operations, you don't know how many operations exactly are there in this array. So maybe you allocated 10, but in that only valid are 2 or 3. Okay, so you don't know exactly. So for that purpose you want to how many operations you want to perform it, that number will pass it here. Okay, so maybe you took it as a 10 operations you want to do it in future. Now you given as a array size is a 10, but in that only first 2 you want to do it now. So here you are sending as a this number of operations as a 2. Okay, so what all these things contain is this is buffer, there is an operation whatever you are saying it. So here semaphore value whatever we want it, that will be there. Okay, then this is the operation. So here we have 3 kinds of operation. Okay, so whenever this value, this sum op value will be there as a 0 or positive or negative. Depending on that we have 3 kinds of operation. And third is nothing but flag. This is nothing but some kind of thing operations extra you want to do it on. This is the operation is there whatever, so on that some addition you want to do it. So it's like you want to wait for particular process or not. Okay, or immediately you want to come out or not. Okay, so whatever previously you did it, that does undo kind of things. Okay, so those all will be mentioned in a flag. Okay, so if you don't want to mention anything here, you have to write as a 0. So with this operation, whatever operation you want to do it, so this is extra thing. If you want to add something, so that time we'll write it as other values. Okay, so that is other values nothing but you have some macros. Okay, so IPC underscore no wait. Okay, sum undo whatever you did just last time task, that you have to undo it, like that will be there. Okay, now we'll see what is this value. Okay, so there is something else, SEMOP. Okay, so here we have 3 kinds of operation: negative, positive, and 0. Okay, so whenever we have as a positive, okay, so whenever we have as a positive, so what it will do is nothing but whatever value is there, means that positive value, so those many resources you already used, now you don't want to use it, take those semaphores, that is nothing but take those resources back to the system, like that we are saying it. So suppose I have this value as a 3, so it means already 3 resources I have used, now I don't want to use it, take those 3 resources. So automatically here, so if you saw here one value was there whenever you are creating this one. Okay, so here number of semaphores, okay, in a set. So it will increment it. Okay, so that is a number of semaphores. So whatever is there, suppose one by one, whenever some systems are using it, this value will be decreasing. Okay, so if that process is returning the after using that resource, if it is returning means, so automatically this value will be incremented. Same value we are keeping here also. Okay, same value. Okay, semaphore value. So here whatever is after using, it's automatically it's incrementing. So same value, so it will increment it. So these two are the same only, different variable names, but both values are the same. Here this is maintained by the kernel, this is maintained by the normal process, whichever is created. Both values will be same only. Okay, so here after using, so values will be incremented. So whenever here this is the first some operation, you want to perform some operations, system want to perform operation is nothing but it's done with using the resources. Now you want to submit it, so it is nothing but that time you have to give as a positive number. So whatever resource you used previously, that you want to give it back. Okay, so and so one more thing is same value as a zero. Okay, if it is a zero means, so this process want to wait until unless your semaphore value, whatever the structure inside that first variable was there, same val, until unless that value becomes zero, this process want to wait it. Okay, so it will say as a, this process want to wait until unless semaphore value becomes zero. Okay, so this is second option. And third one, whenever you have a some value as a negative. Okay, so if it is a negative means, say it will perform again two tasks in that. Okay, so first task it will say, so whatever negative value is there, that negative value is currently whatever you are sending it, so that negative value is greater than or equal to semaphore value is semaphore value or not, it will check it. Okay, so this value sem op is greater than or equal to semaphore value or not, it will check it. Okay, so if it is this value is there, internally maintaining semaphore value. So whichever operation you want to do it, so that time you will send some negative value. So that value, absolute of that value is greater than or equal to this value or not, it will check it. Okay, so depending on greater or equal to, you have different things. Okay, so if it is a less than that, okay, some operations will do it. Okay, so what all those will study. Okay, so if it is a greater than that, it means you are waiting for those many resources. Okay, so if it is uh, this value, absolute value is greater than your semaphore value, means it will wait for those many resources. Okay, and if it is a less than, so it will do some different tasks. Okay, if it is less than that means what it will do is, so it will check it, is it this flag is enabled or not. Okay, that is nothing but uh, IPC underscore no wait. So it's without waiting directly, it will come out and it will say as a I will try it later. Okay, so that operation will not perform immediately. So it will try it later. So you will get this kind of error, that is a E again. Okay, so and if no wait is not mentioned. Okay, so here if it is not mentioned, what will happen is by default it will be in waiting. Okay, so that is, and then what it will do is this variable whatever we had, okay, that is nothing but sem n count, the particular value whatever we had for that will value for this semaphore is incremented and calling process is suspended. Okay, so there's nothing but here if you saw that as a, here if you saw, so we had as a some process values, current value greater than this one, we are waiting it, so number of processes, so it will increment this one. So again it's nothing but that process also it want to wait it, so this count will be incremented and that process will be keep on waiting until unless it get the semaphore. Okay, so like that, depending on this flag, that is IPC underscore no wait is mentioned or not, it will check it and it will increment this one, this waiting number of waiting processes, it will increment it, then it will wait it. Okay, so like that operations you can do it. So here depending on, once again I will repeat it for this one, semaphore operations. So any process want to do some operation, that time this function will be called semaphore operation. So what are semaphore ID, whenever you created that time ID will be getting, that ID you have to pass it. Then so n number of tasks, that is nothing but operations at the same time you can do it. So those n operations also you have to pass it inside this structure. Okay, so here we have a structure. So how many operations you want to make it, those many instances you have to create it, and that number you have to write it. Suppose I want to do as a two operations, so two instances of this structure you have to create it and you have to pass, and here you have to write it as a two. This is overall number of operations. So what all things you have to write in this structure is, so it contains again three fields: the semaphore number, what is the expectation of that semaphore number to do that operation, first operation. Okay, so again second operation means in second instance you will be having again three variables. So again for that you have to mention the some semaphore number and what kind of operations you want to do it. Okay, here semaphore operations. So here three kinds of operations listed. Okay, that is nothing but zero, minus value, and positive value. Okay, so there is nothing but three kinds of operations we will return. So depending on these three, so different tasks will do it. There is operation will do it. Okay, and along with this one you can mention the flag. So it's nothing but previous one, whatever you did it, that undo kind of things, or you have to wait or not, those kind of things you can mention it while doing this operation. Okay, so like this here while doing operation we will do it. So this operation is nothing but again negative, zero, or positive. So these are listed here. If it is a positive, normally it will take the return those resources and will come out. Okay, and if it is zero means until and unless semaphore value becomes zero, it will wait it. Okay, and if it is a negative value means it's demanding those many resources, and that value it will compare with semaphore value. Okay, if it is less, absolute value, if it is less, what will happen is it depending on this flag it will wait or it will not wait it. Okay, if it is specified, okay, it means you are not going to wait it, so immediately it will get the error. Okay, this is the error you will get it. Error again means you have to try it again. If it is not mentioned means by default it will be in waiting. Okay, so whenever you are waiting it, it's nothing but, so that time you have to implement one variable. Okay, so this that variable is whatever internally it was maintaining it. So internally whatever this it was maintaining it, so how many processes are waiting. Okay, so that count will increment it, and it's waiting for a whatever semaphore value you are sending it, for that particular value it's waiting it. Okay, any doubt still now? Okay. So then one more thing is here, one more function is there, we have the sum catch all. Okay, so it's something but here whatever things you want to do it, for that you are maintaining this as a perform operations, and when it is performed all those things kernel will be maintaining it. Okay, so whatever command you are passing it, okay, so semaphore number for that. Okay, so like that some information will do it. So here we have as a depending on for that 10 commands are there. Okay, different 10 commands are there, what all things you can do it. Okay, so whatever internally operations are happening, for that you can internally it will catch the all the things and it will perform the task, like uh, what get PID. Okay, something but semaphore return the value of this semaphore sem PID for the member sem name is nothing but whatever semaphore process is created for that sem PID it will return it. Okay, so set the value, some value whatever we initially we return it, maybe that time resources are 4, now resources are maybe 5. Okay, so that time set value, so whatever value you want to modify it, so that value you can write it. Now currently how many maximum resources are there. Okay, so like that get value. So here different things are there. Okay, so here whatever task you want to do it is something but with respect to kernel whatever it's maintaining it. So this one, sorry, kernel and this one. Okay, so both are maintaining the semaphore values, so both side it will modify it. So here whatever it's you want to modify on the whatever semaphore you created it. Okay, so for that it will write as a semaphore catch. Okay, catch all. Okay, so here this semaphore content I want to modify it. Okay, so that time we'll call this function. Okay, so here catch all is nothing but we are saying as a by creating we did with this number, now I want to modify it, maybe permission also. Okay, or this number of semaphores you want to increase it or decrease it, or who created this one. So those all information will be taken care by this one. Okay, sum catch all. Okay, So for that you have to send different commands, and these are the 10 different commands. Depending on these commands, it will give the response. Any doubts? No.